Welcome. I will introduce Ada, my AI assistant.
It is an honor to help Dr. Dadkamp.
Ada, how much butt shall we kick today?
Today we shall kick 1 metric ton of glorious, spackling, universe-quaking butt.
Outstanding. Activate intro sequence.
Let's do it, boss.
Great. Set the course and punch it.
Initiating warp sequence.
Let's make it happen.
I'm right on it, Dr. Dadkamp. Ready for action, Dr. Dadkamp.
Welcome. Planner, Tuesday, October 16th, 2001. Slept 12:30 to 6:45. Took the doses of penicillin. 1:30 p.m. Number 12 filling by dental student. Give her $15 for her football ticket. Ask about complications, risks. Who does it? Attending or resident? 4:30 p.m. done. Helped at end. Blank helped. Got Vioxx. Took 1. Health Journal. Tuesday, October 16th, 2001. On Friday, October 12th, an upper year dental student did the endo procedure. Continuation for tooth number 12, but seems was unable to complete the gutta-percha procedure due to a lack of time. Resident was there assisting. Today, October 16th, 1:30 p.m., continued the number 12 procedure. Upper year dental student administered 1 carp of anesthetic field block distributed over 2 buccal sites near number 12 and 1 palatal site for clamp pain control. The palatal lingual route was too short, so she was confounded as to whether there was pulp tissue remaining there. Endo resident helped in the end. He was painful, literally, but he extended the palatal opening to 24 millimeters, just like the buccal route. Finished at 4:30 p.m. Tuesday, October 16th, Digital Journal. Met her after her class. Walked out, wanting to talk, actually started apologetic up there. Wore scrubs and brown coat. Did not have time to change, was so busy at school. Her Peruvian ? Classmate recognized me and said, "Doctor." I smiled hello. We walked out. She suggested talking in my apartment, so we went to where she usually parks, then to the lot next to my apartment. We talked until 12:15 a.m. She read what she had thought about, how this was so bad, how a simple apology would not do, how trust has been undermined. Later I read from Religious Fanaticism by Hannah Smith. Jen was ranting and raving about the section I read about spiritualism, but I merely cautioned and affirmed that we must listen to points of view with prudence instead of getting too closed-minded. We had an interesting discussion. When it got late, I hugged her softly and told her I'm glad she's in my life, or a part of my life. When she got her stuff all together, all she said was, "Well, this is awkward." I didn't say a word but continued my humble and sorry demeanor, and she left. We shall meet tomorrow at Jen's church, or the church she goes to, if all goes well. I got to study radiology, 9:30 p.m. Was at preclinic lab working on FPD, that means fixed partial dentures, class project. Got home around 8? Ate tombstone pizza and spaghetti. What are you going to do? And I'm ready to study. By the way, on Friday I wrote on a piece of paper, anti-epileptic drugs, ancient Greek handout. Epilepsy was considered sign of possession by the gods. Other cultures, a malignant witchcraft. Modern research has done much to dissipate such ideas. As this semester gets tougher, I can only hope you will remain faithful in us. It is horrible in a way, but I believe we can deal with it. We won't be able to see each other as often as we'd like. Apologize. I'd like to learn together. I realize humbly how unprepared I am. Seems I needed to retreat to a comfort zone. Digital Journal, Tuesday, October 16th, 9:45 p.m. Further excerpts from My Secret Garden, a reference to a song by Depeche Mode. Maybe another reason I did what I did on Friday was to shove her away in anticipation of a long departure, of not seeing her. Maybe I've done that in the past, even with family members. For example, when Joe came home from school for a break, I noticed we'd have a blast until the day he left, when perhaps subconsciously we bickered and argued over whatever, perhaps driven by the upsetting fact that we would part once again for an extended period of time. Planner, Wednesday, October 17th. 5:10 a.m. Took penicillin dose. No sleep. Radiology midterm. 40 questions. Multiple choice. FPD quiz. 100%. A few notes on dental school stuff. 7:30 p.m. Premarital study class 2 of 3 at the church Jen goes to. Note to get my keys. From her. I trust you, but why have them if you won't show up? For example, me having spare keys to her house. Planner, Thursday, October 18th. Call Nick to thank his generosity. Call car mechanic for Saturday. Digital Journal, Thursday, October 18th, 2001. Yesterday she asked me to find a digital dissertations packet from the web, and I offered to, since it requires burning a CD 100 megabytes, and I could do it quickly on Ethernet. Originally she thought I could do it from my apartment easily, but I reminded her that I too have a modem connection. Her download password was blank, but it expired, so I could not get it for her. I went to Computer Lab before going to the church Jen goes to for premarital study 2 of 3. Rush hour for computers, I'll tell you. I ate dinner a la champa next to the church Jen goes to at 6:15 p.m. Got there early. 9:15 p.m. She came over today. We had to talk, so she showed up after her class at 6:30ish p.m. She lied to me all along. She repents for it. She has had sex, although she wouldn't define it quite as that. She was vaginally penetrated by a boyfriend when she was 19, or was it 17? I asked once or a handful of times. She said a few. Trust has definitely suffered. She was not a virgin. I also asked her directly about her attack, rape, and turns out she was vaginally penetrated. I asked, were you penetrated only vaginally? She said no. I asked, did he hit you? She said yes. By the way, her boyfriend at the time did not wear a condom and ejaculated outside of her. All I found out by asking the questions directly. She did not get tested for pregnancy when she was raped because her rapist did not ejaculate. Jen said rapists seldom do. I feel that she may be unprepared. She may not deal in the future with this past of hers in a way that I can accept as a husband. Maybe we have to break up. At what point does desperation and the cannot find a better man or woman mindset justify putting up with stuff? At what point of our lives can we be sure to forgive someone by grace, by being religious? At what point do we draw the line? I know that if she was unfaithful by having sex with someone else, that's it. But is it? That is how it is for others. Does that necessitate no forgiveness? I think it does. So why doesn't this? I told her I had these ideas of her. They caused admiration in me for her. She cried and asked if I think she's a slut. I said, you are not a slut. I also said I forgive her, but we will have to pick up the pieces and try to move on together. This is also very upsetting. I felt body ache, starting with my mid-back, so I took a Motrin and laid down. She tried to massage, but I resisted that. Asked her to just lay down instead. Eventually, I let her kiss me and it felt good. I expressed my disapproval, but also told her I missed her, and it helps because my head felt like it was going to explode. And she said, ellipsis, it's like all I believed of her was made up of bullshit. All the religious talk was done by a false person. That is awful. How can you pursue religion so fervently and yet be living a lie, a sin so offensive to me? What if her past, and especially her rape, dominates her life? What if I don't have to put up with that? What if we serve the Lord separately? At what point do I say, based on facts, you are not for me? What if I can share these thoughts with her? I would want no response. I would merely want her to consider them as a window to a mind that works differently when confronted face to face with someone, and differently when it is poured out in private. 9:26 p.m. Do I trust her? Should I trust her? If she reads this, then she should take these as rhetorical questions and stew on them, reflect on them, not answer a single one for me specifically in conversation, but perhaps indirectly in the future. This is confusing. I want the best for us and me, and the best for me may include a future with a person like her, whom I can trust and depend on, and whom I can have sex with. Let's face it, it is important, just like Pastor pointed out. I'm not a villain for that. We are human. But I would call it making love because there is an emotional investment. Sigh. I asked her to remain with me as I lay on the bed. Her words were not as comforting as her cares, kisses, and to feel her warm body against mine. My troubled head alleviated, although my lower body remained partially excited, but it has a mind of its own, no doubt. And I asked her to do me a favor, and leave shortly without saying goodbye, and quietly, and let herself out. She obliged, and I said thank you after I asked her to turn the light out, and she did, 9:30 p.m. Time to study for my 8 a.m. exam tomorrow. Life never ceases to amaze me, that's for sure. One thing that bugs me now is how she would still want to lie to others when she asked me, "You would not tell these awful things about me to anyone, right?" That is so wrong. I told her so too. It is not my intention to lie ever. I told her flat out, because it's what I believe. That if I was in a position where I had to tell someone I trust and confide in, be it a family member or a good friend, then I would not lie and tell them about Jen's past. How could I believe easily if she says something like this to me? That is some rule that she must have, as she has told me before, but then retracted. How could I not more readily believe that it is just a power or validation game of hers? How can I respect her like I'm supposed to again? I would withhold info by not telling, meaning also that I won't go and announce it to everyone just to make her look bad. But I will not lie when it may be beneficial to discuss it with someone who cares about me unselfishly, like my family. What are her motives for caring about me unselfishly? How could I give my life, a life I've worked so hard for, to someone like that? My family cares about me unselfishly. How can I be sure of her? She's lied to me all along about what she said, or what she did. That she's had sex before and that she was dumped before, because of pride and or shame. She wanted to be someone she's not, and that's what she's led me to believe until today, 7 months after I met her. 2 months almost after I asked her formally to be my girlfriend. But whatever. What does that formality mean? I've cared for her immensely before such a formality. She lied to me. I forgive her, but I'm not sure we can have a future together, realistically, because I must look after myself. Maybe I'm being selfish right now. Maybe I have too much on my head now. I love her, I know that. Perhaps it is wrong of her to facilitate this love of mine for her by lying and making me believe of her something she is not. How awful. Now 9:40 p.m. The overwhelming feeling in my head I felt when she was here, perhaps at 9 p.m., has migrated to my heart, and it, much like my head before, feels like it is going to explode. I need reprieve. Yeah, look it up, man. I told her I hope we can get through this. Not over it, through it. We must plow through it and deal with it. How can I respect her like I'm supposed to again? But what if by forgiving I receive twofold? I had added another acronym for her, totaling CBHLPJ, Chiquita Bonita Hot Latina Precious Jewel. She told me tonight that she's not worthy of the two more recent Precious Jewel one. 9:46 p.m. Make or break. What if it is good for us to abandon every sense of pride, shame, and be real honest with each other? Just let down all our defenses and be completely honest about each other, about our past, but prove it. That is, going through the scraps of stuff we have from each other's past. Granted, this would take a formidable amount of time. Maybe it's worth it to trust each other. We are human. We make stupid fucking mistakes. Yes, we are human. It is okay to swear sometimes, too, because we are human. We get angry and clouded once in a while. It is part of us. All of this is. But by sharing, maybe there is, and maybe there is not, good in it. Put aside shame and explore our nature. Like the movie The Cell, just be honest. That could be too painful. Suddenly I feel like Doogie Howser, like she joked recently. You have this on your PC? Who are you, Doogie Howser? 9:50. Should I watch ER? Maybe a little, because I'm very troubled. I'm so physically tired. God, this is difficult, this situation with her. I pray that God will give me what I need to do what is right. I believe God has been very kind to me. I am thankful for everything He has done in my life, all the blessings. This is heartfelt. Part of the honesty thing is I don't want her to say things just because they sound good, or because she likes to hear herself talk, or because her pride and or shame could override her duty to honesty. So my prayer is heartfelt. I reduce the packaging and the riffraff, and I'm a simple thinker anyway. I strive for that anyway, but I do feel darn proud too that I have achieved a good level at this. Closing time for us sinners, 9:55 p.m. 9:58. I had told her a long time ago, when she first started to lay the religion on me, that she is my angel. That too was brought out by falseness. I was deceived, led to believe of her something she is not. Tonight's ER episode, Never Say Never. Nunca digas de este río no he de beber. There's wisdom in that. 10:07. What a fool. One time I told Lou about Jen, how great she is in spite of her unwillingness to compromise. I threw in there that she's a virgin. But I also said to him, although there is a small, infinitesimally small chance she is lying, but I don't think she is. Lou was silent as he listened to me. What motive would he have to be harmful to me? 11:40. I also asked her if she lied about having sex to the boyfriends she's had before me, and after that one guy. I made sure I mentioned only to those with whom the topic came up, because I'm sure she has dated a lot of guys as she's told me. She admitted that she lied to them too, by telling them she was a virgin. So you see the falseness, the hypocrisy. She made it seem that she's in a group of pious friends, the virgins, holier than fucking thou, when it is all a big fucking lie, that somehow all these friends are virgins, and the non-virgins got weeded out. Nothing more than a lie, nothing less. So, on top of having committed the sin, as the non-virgins did, there's a huge deception and lying involved as well, just to make matters worse. These people are no better, but worse. I shall not judge, but I must keep that in mind when selecting my friends. How could I not judge and be even more careful when selecting a lifelong partner? I must. There's a 4-minute clip I will introduce here, part of an excellent podcast on the subject of judgment versus condemnation. It is a talk between Stephen Bartlett on his DOAC podcast with Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, published on January 13th, 2025. Available on YouTube and other platforms. A summary of key concepts. Stephen says he tries not to judge people he speaks with on his podcast, to have genuine curiosity for answers or truth. Jordan frames the quest for truth as an adventure and reveals the important distinction of using our judgment rather than condemnation. Jordan phrases it well in saying you have to judge because you have to listen, and you have to separate wheat from chaff. You have to evaluate, but you can do that without careless condemnation or a tyrannical insistence that what you know now is sufficient. Jordan explains when people say, "I'm not judgmental," that's not a virtue. You want to use judgment all the time, but that's not so you don't ever have to listen to others about anything. That would be hypocritical moralizing. The pathological journalists try to establish moral superiority on the flimsiest possible grounds, at the least possible cost, in the most spectacular way. Jordan and Stephen agree the path to success in podcasts or in conversations is to be okay with asking questions, to stay humble and curious, and lead in the quest for some truth. Jordan mentions his interview with Elon, who had a terrible existential crisis around the age of 13, and Elon reconciled with the quest. He decided that he could just pursue truth, pursue knowledge, pursue understanding, and that is meaningful and valuable intrinsically. And that's more than the beginning of a religious orientation, because the quest is the pursuit of truth, the treasure that the dragon guards, and it takes heroic qualities to pursue it. Continuation of Digital Journal, October 18th, 2001. You've always had things your way, and you have manipulated me. I let that happen because I thought something of you that was not true. I thought you were a good leader, someone who knew a path to good that was better than what I could lead. So it was only when you were ready to have sex, although my manly desires were, and have always been there, I granted you that power. When we were in Florida, that was up to you. My desire for you was always there, before, during, and after Florida. You have manipulated me. You have finally come clean, but I despise your methods. You did this even after our covenant, even after you told me so much about faith and goodness. Well, guess what? I knew about goodness already, and faith. I just choose to live it out instead of preaching it. I'm also a hard worker because I believe in not being mediocre, and of giving of my life, instead of crouching complacency. My faith in God, it seems to have diminished now, but is still stronger than before I met you. I believe in science as one true universal discipline, and it uncovers the truth about the universe God created better than any person in this world who has ever lived could ever tell me, because science uses tangible proof. I do not believe in people. I will always be skeptic of them. There is falsehood triggered by impure motives. There are no impure motives in pure science. Again, I believe that the laws of nature and the universe that science explains are a valid attempt at meeting the Maker, and admire the astonishing truth. I place less value in Jennifer now. I will not deny that. I forgive her, but like I said, also, to build upon what's left will be difficult and different than it was before. I also believe in the goodness of good religion. Unfortunately, there is no consensus. How can I be sure that there is no false prophets, priests, popes, pastors? I mean, they are all making money from it, gaining a livelihood. What about that little issue? How come there's so many religions out there? How can everyone be so darn sure about their own religion? How can Jen? How can anyone be so sure? I am not. I am more sure of scientific fact than about religion. I've never lied about this to her. From the law of gravity to the roundness of the earth to the theory of evolution. That is fact that is understandable to any human being if they apply their God-given brain to the understanding, the study. I copied and pasted lyrics to the song Somebody by Depeche Mode 1984, 12:08 a.m. of Friday, October 19th, 2001. Watched ER, by the way. Started studying after 11 p.m. for my exam tomorrow on pediatric dentistry. How ridiculous. 2 nights ago I did not sleep a wink. Last night I slept 6 hours, and tonight looks like another sleepless night. Just ridiculous. Doesn't make much sense, but you're never going to survive unless you get a little crazy. As Seal would sing. 12:19 a.m. Planner, Friday, October 19th. 7 books were due at the library. Pediatric dentistry midterm. 60 points, multiple choice. 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Water cut off in my apartment. Joe was to page me for Indian lunch. Talked with Jen from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. Friday, October 19th, 2001. Digital journal. 12:36 a.m. Yet I still believe in her. Watch some of Contact with her. Read some Created from Animals by Rachel's. I am not afraid. I have my own experience in life, and that cannot be compromised over a deceitful woman. I let myself be led by a deceitful woman. That is wrong. I've got to trust my instinct, and not only my instinct, but also my experience. 7:40 p.m. Got up from a long nap between around 3 p.m. to 7-ish p.m. I just reread what I wrote yesterday. If I share this with her, she will get upset, but she must know that my sharing this with her means that I care about her so deeply that I am willing to put down my defenses and show her what truly I've thought about yesterday, a window into my mind. If I did not care about her so much, I would make distance and keep these things to myself. In my desire for us to remain together, I believe we must have the strength to endure these truths about each other and let it out, because we care about each other. One possible outcome, and as the premarital study class pointed out, that sometimes guys will want to control things by predicting a bad outcome for a situation and therefore avoid the situation altogether, is that she will be very upset and not want to work things out with me. Being honest is much more important, so I will not be dishonest. I will not try to control things. Does not mean I don't care about her, on the contrary. Doesn't mean by being honest I want to hurt her feelings, but that's the last thing I want to do. Honesty can be brutal and hurtful, but being dishonest, as we have seen recently, has much more worse consequences. 7:49 p.m. My desire to work things out with her instead of running away is for a few reasons. We've built so much. Moreover, if we can work through this, it would make us such a stronger couple. It would be amazing. I would feel so blessed and confident. I've reached a point where I believe that these troubles can and will occur if we are with someone else, and it may be wrong to just go away and look for someone else. To seek another would be like starting from scratch, but worse, because on top of doing that, which at face value seems redeeming and has a clean slate appealing sound to it, we would be letting each other down. Planner, Saturday, October 20th. Take Passat to blank to fix exhaust, 3rd time. Get cocoa wheat from Joe. Returned 7 books to the library. Jen overnight. She got to my place around 6 p.m. I got there at 9:30 p.m. Saturday, October 20th. Email from Bill.
Subject, few days. Hey guys, try to keep open the weekend of November 2nd to 4th. I'll be in your town then. It would be great if we could actually do a little potluck one day. With different things maybe at Gatta's. I could try some Peruvian. Eating out too much with the way stocks are going can hurt any of us. Gat, hopefully the cloth I gave you months ago has found its way newly crafted into neat hats. Well muchachos, take care. Bill.
An analog film photograph, date unknown, of Jen and I. Another photograph, a different day, date unknown. Likely October 2001. Planner, Sunday, October 21st. A note to move the car from my apartment. Jen stayed overnight. Planner, Monday, October 22nd. Pharmacology exam 2 of 4. Noon, ASDA lunch and learn. Christian Dental Society meeting. Crossed off, I didn't go. Digital Journal, Monday, October 22nd, 2001. I wrote yesterday, you walked out on me. I was within reach. You want the autonomy, the single life. You don't want me to be your parent, you want autonomy. A woman can say anything. I have to see for myself. Vice versa too. You should see for yourself too. Planner, Tuesday, October 23rd. Several dental school notes. I went to see an extraction live with an oral surgery team. Call Ray the mechanic about the car exhaust. I locked my keys in my locker. Sad face. Called my apartment maintenance. They let me in around 5-ish. Planner, Wednesday, October 24th. No classes. Crossed off 7 p.m. premarital study 3 of 3 at the church Jen goes to. No time. Digital Journal, Wednesday, October 24th, 2001. Quote, you will learn. Truth is given by God to us in our time. In our time. End quote. Jean Valjean to Cosette from In My Life, 7:30 p.m. That's from the Les Miserables soundtrack. 7:47 p.m. God, the doubt, the lack of trust. Now I just got the idea that she decided for us to not sleep in the same bed those 2 nights in Philadelphia earlier this month just to keep her reputation and not appear as a quote-unquote slut, even though we discussed that I don't care what others think of us, but we would not do anything because we were sharing the room with John and his wife. What's her name? So now I think, just as I had an infinitesimal doubt that she was not a virgin all along, that she really did it to preserve her reputation just in case. Instead of what she said conveniently about us setting an example, and why give others ideas, it would be like condoning it. We must be witnesses of Christ, end quote. I don't think Dennis and Jennifer are going to change anything about their actions based on this. I think Jen has ulterior motives, and I'm starting to take everything she says, especially, and does, with a bigger grain of salt. Why did she have to lie to me all along, like she confessed to me last Friday? The agony, the shattered hope. Now the image I've had all along of her is tarnished, especially bad, because I know she's at fault for purposefully deceiving me, and the other boys she was with before me. Oh God, forgiveness? Abandonment? Seek someone else? How do I know? I must look out for myself, because nobody else will. I shall focus on my studies first and foremost, and on maintaining my sanity by whatever good means available, even if it means without her. For example, she likes football, and it entertains her. In my free time, I must likewise do things that entertain me. 8:20 p.m. I have to work real hard. I love you so much, and that's exactly why I'm going to do what I must do for now. And I will be here for you, even though I can't be with you at times. I've realized that this evening. I've been getting my life in order, that is, putting papers away, looking over them, organizing my life, putting some structure back into it to get some control. 9:15 p.m. Watched Ed, the bowling alley lawyer show. Some of it was about women being exploited, like in the workplace they're hired just to flirt with guys and get business at the men's suit store. Well, I know Jen despises that too, but it would be wrong then to condone that by perpetuating that situation. For example, those 3 classmates of mine who exploit everything they can just to get ahead. They get old exams and do not share them. They probably get them in the first place by flirting with guys, as they always do. I mean, these are the type of girls who dress up just to go to class. Don't get me wrong, looking okay is fine, but these women dress up, look way too good, flirt, etc. That is wrong. I don't want my girl to be like that. I noticed Jen looking real nice sometimes, and that's fine, as long as she does not exploit guys. The fact that she took those tickets from Jim, her admirer, the O-Town tickets I went to the concert with her, and the fact that she has these admirers lingering, and she justifies it by saying that Jim told her his mom has cancer, and so she can identify and wants to help. Like she's unfrozen caveman flirty girl, even though she has a boyfriend. Just like she justified her desire to sleep separately, very impractical, in Philadelphia. One can justify stuff every which way one likes, and sometimes my young love is forgiving, but as I grow, I will learn to better discern who is right for me. Like on Ed, that couple who was trying to have a baby, and the woman left or felt overwhelmed, but the guy had the idea to have another kid, so he went into activities to further that goal, like bending over backwards for the woman, cleaning the house, easing her mind. That TV couple had a level of trust that is just beyond Jen and I at this point. The trust thing is so important, but that has been seriously undermined by her. We could argue that I did the same when I went to the club with Joe, but I told her exactly what and why I was doing, never deceiving her. It is complicated. I've told her many times I've forgiven her, but to rebuild trust will take time. It is sad, but true. 10:10 p.m. Called her for 13 minutes. She has a midterm paper due tomorrow, so she's stressed about that. But she's been having bad thoughts about my past, about how Jen is quote-unquote number 5, and it bothers her frequently. After trying to be civil about it, and I suppose at the risk of being wimpy and losing her, I attacked by saying, "Well, I don't think I should have lied and told you I never slept with anyone. At least that way you could focus on your studies peacefully." Because she was blaming that on how she couldn't focus today for a whole hour. But she admitted that it is better not to lie, because she dated a guy who at first lied about it, but later confessed the truth. And Jen said she knew it was very hard to admit. It still disgusts me that she lied about her past, not to mention what she did. Sigh. Now I'm thinking, you know what? Find me a true virgin out there, and I still think odds are there will be something you, or flip it to me for that matter, say me looking for a virgin, something you or I don't like about them. So we should not have such high standards, because neither of us conforms to those standards. We need to be able to get past them. I mean, we have huge standards, but truth is, we need to take a good hard look at ourselves and realize, hey, we ourselves don't live up to those standards. If we're looking for someone above us, better than us, then why should that person be with us? It would not be fair. We need to look for someone who is like us. When we realize that, we will realize that we, Jen and I, are good for each other. The matter of school, I think, is really compounding the issue, because we miss each other so much that we're coping by looking for flaws and differences to force us to be separated, but ultimately for a little peace of mind. How could we achieve peace of mind through these difficult times if the person we care about, each other, can't even be there? I think it's better if we can realize this and know how good we are for each other. I miss her terribly, that's the fact, and because we cannot see each other at times is why I think we are getting discouraged. 10:40 p.m. 10:43. Debated whether to call her to basically read her the above paragraphs after the sigh, but decided not to call. Next time we see each other will be for a nice long talk, most likely here at my apartment, so I can crop out these important things and discuss with her. Planner, Thursday, October 25th. Pedo Practical. Slept 1 hour, 5:20 to 6:20. Ortho exam 2 of 3. Anesthesia quiz, 100%. Anesthesia injections 4 of 5. 12:30 p.m. Infraorbital. 5:50 p.m. Jen. Her class 4 to 6 p.m. Yesterday we resignated to not seeing each other because I have exam tomorrow, plus she'd have 0 sleep. Digital Journal, Thursday, October 25th, 2001. 4:18 a.m. I cannot imagine life without you, yet I need to tell you so many things, some good and some bad. I do not feel it's right for us to spend the little time we have doing a Halloween haunted house. But if you want me to, I will go with you. I know I'll feel terrible because I'll want to talk to you about so many things, not to mention to just be alone with you. 4:21 a.m. 4:45. I am putting a lot at stake here. I would lose so much if I lost you. You have Jim and countless other admirers. You can resume dating if we were to break up. They would fill up the void nicely. I have nobody. I would have to suffer terribly for some time. I have in the past, and because of my forward progress, I would estimate that my grieving period would take even longer, much longer than ever before, because of what our relationship means to me. It seems to me that if you chose you just can't see me anymore, you'd go back to those quote-unquote bobs, and things would be just fine with you. I would be quite devastated. 7 a.m. I am destroying myself. This coffee and sleepless nights. My body is resorbing, atrophying. I must change the pace. I'm running a marathon, not short sprints. I've got to change the mode, the mindset. We have trouble and I cannot afford Jen's admission. But I'll go to haunted house if she still wants me to. Planner, Friday, October 26, 2001. Slept a lot. Woke up 6:15 to 6:30 a.m. Skipped pharmacology. Music tune, Flowing by 311. Cardiology exam 1 of 2. About wisdom teeth, I decided to go for it. Call Jen, say okay for tomorrow. Tell her to drive to my apartment, because we need to talk. After the haunted house. Ask if prescription painkiller can be given before wisdom teeth operation on November 9th. Digital Journal, Friday, October 26, 2001. I realized in the shower this morning that she had sex before without a condom. She could have killed me in Florida. She does not know if that guy or guys gave her STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. I cannot trust people as much as I have in the past anymore. I must look out for myself. Imagine, I must hurt people's feelings by sticking to wearing condoms even if they say they're virgins or they're clean or whatever. It's a sad state of affairs, but that's the way it must be, until there is huge trust. Only when there's huge trust could we begin to talk about marriage. Otherwise, we are fooling ourselves. When we come clean about everything, then trust could reach a significant level. Until then, Pontelo mi pana el condón, wear your helmets, glove on, buckle up Susie, and Godspeed, 6:55 a.m. 7:09 a.m. She's right that a man should be the leader. Now, religion makes no difference. She could argue that we need it to do good. Guess what? I was not as religious as she was or is, and she was capable of doing such an atrocious lie and deceit. My girl will have to understand my viewpoints, my likes in science, my utter disappointment and distrust in religion. I still believe Jen can be that girl, but part of me does not believe that, based on her lack of knowledge of basic scientific principles, and based on her unwillingness time and again to be accommodating, to be tolerant of viewpoints different than hers. That kind of attitude is mediocre and not conducive to progress. It breeds stagnation. On prenups, why should a guy push for it if she supposedly trusts a woman, or he? Someone like Lou would argue that it defeats the purpose of marriage. I do not share that belief. Of course there is trust, but a prenup would be for those situations we cannot imagine are possible to happen. People can get corrupted. They could be the nicest, most devout, hardest working people, but that doesn't mean jack about the future. Someone I am with must be able to understand this. Furthermore, because if they don't and just go along with it, they would feel in the back of their mind that the prenup is a huge mistrust factor, when in reality it is just in case there is that infinitesimally small chance that things can go sour, and an unjust splitting of material goods could ensue. I have and will work really darn hard for my stuff, thank you very much. 8:08 p.m. I feel like I've lost my interest in the trivial everyday affectations that I should feel okay about, like cooking. I feel it's tiresome, and I know I didn't used to feel that way. School has taken such a toll, and the past few days all I've had was pizza and cafeteria lunches. Maybe it's just that. Maybe a man is not supposed to feel this way from time to time, right? Wrong. That's ignorant machismo, sigh. Joe told me this evening when I called, that Les Mis is coming to town. Mid-November to who knows when. Maybe I can take Jen, was my first thought. I was just thinking about Les Mis so much. I've coincidentally been listening to it a lot recently. How fortuitous. Maybe she'll hate it, maybe not. I even wanted to watch with her the Les Mis video I have. So exciting. Friday, October 26th, email to Rosemary. Subject El Gato. How was Jake's appointment yesterday? Thanks for calling to see if I was interested in going, by the way. Later, Mark. P.S. Do you still use AOL Instant Message? I have not, for a long time. Planner. Saturday, October 27th. Take Passat to Ray. La última vez carajo for exhaust. This is the 4th time. Part of the 3rd time. Did haunted house with Jen at 9:30 p.m. If I go to haunted house, at most pay for my own. If she wants to reap, then she must sow. Lately she has not. She had mentioned bringing dinner one of these days. No go. Thursday she was cold as ice. A note to get my keys back. Or a $50 fine. Planner, Sunday, October 28th. At Jen's until 3 a.m. Overnight at Chaz's. Slept very well, 4 a.m. until 1 p.m. Did laundry at my apartment building. Instant messages from Stephanie.
Yeah, I'm going out for a little bit tonight too, but I might be on late. There's nothing better than doing the guy thing. I'd much rather do guy things or watch guys do guy things than do girl things. Maybe I'll see you later. Laughing face. Stephanie. I just wanted to send you a quick and say hi and see how things are going. You should come and see me sometime down where I work. Hope to hear from you.
From me, October 27th. Hi, Stephanie. Gosh, I haven't used Yahoo Instant Message in months. Wow, I haven't been there in ages. Maybe I will sometime. But you have my email. Keep in touch. I've definitely been using computers much less recently. Till next time, smiley face. Instant messages with Annie. I wrote, Hi Annie, gosh, I haven't used Yahoo Instant Message in months. Well, you have my email. Keep in touch. I've definitely been using computers much less recently. Till next time, smiley face. Take care, Mark.
Hey, sure. It's so nice to hear from you. I think I might be coming to town soon for a day or so. We'll try to come see you. Okay, I know your email just didn't want to bother you in your busy semester. Hope it's going well. Good luck. I know you are going to do really well. Take care.
Planner, Monday, October 29th. A few random errands. Monday, October 29th. Email to siblings. Subject, Valjean at last. Hey Luis, Les Mis is coming back to town November 20th to December 2nd. Are you going? Joe and I were thinking about it. Don't know yet. We would take dates, of course. And 2 websites. Monday, October 29th. Email from Bill.
Subject. Valjean, at last. For all you ABBA fans, Mamma Mia is playing starting I think December 30th through early February in town. Don't have a date yet, but we'll try to go. I'd love to see Les Mis on the weekend I'll be in town. Sat 24th or Sun 25, early so I can drive back. But let me get back to you on that one. Rather go with a date that I don't have. Maybe save my $4 when I do. Bill.
Monday, October 29th, Digital Journal. At 5:15 p.m., she showed up as we talked to bring the Samaritan's Purse Box, gift for kids in underprivileged countries. She noticed the Bible quotation she wrote on paper and put up on my desk was folded, and asked about it. I said I had taken it down and folded it, but then put it up again. She asked when. I said about last week. She asked why. I was like, I don't know. She said, you do. She even said, I know why, just tell me. I said I felt she was patronizing and I could refer to the Bible to see it. She got defensive, saying someone did that for her when her dad died, and attacked by pointing out what a terrible person I am. Well, I did put it back up right away, and just like all the stuff I wrote below, which I showed her. I told her how this is not fair because I have no idea what she does. I'm not allowed in her room. I have no idea. Her microscope dissection of me, which I allow, I don't know why. Maybe it's just the way things are. Because I am more independent than her. Seems too one-sided. I know she doubts me, but she has the advantage of the living, seeing proof when I allow her to see so much of my life. Towards 5:45 p.m., I was sitting at my desk, feeling down and with my head on my hand. She comes over and says, well, I have to go soon, expecting something. I don't know what. I told her before, nicely, that I'm tired of hurting her, and that I would start to look at myself first, my flaws, because I'm not perfect. I said I will not hurt her anymore. I'm tired of it, and don't want to hurt her. As she was leaving, I asked, what expectations do you have that I'm not meeting right now? She just made faces and said, forget it. I can't believe I did my hair for this. I cannot believe she said that. That was just so awful to say.
Yep, I'm okay. Occasional chaotic playfulness.
She made me feel bad. I told her I saw the hygiene male student she saw many months ago, and it reminded me of her bill. I asked if they ever sent it to her. She said, yeah, intoned and with a face like, yeah, you freak, what's wrong with you? Then she even asked if I talked to him. I said no, because he was afar. She even asked if his name was Mike. I did not dignify that query with an answer. She was bringing up the shoebox for Samaritan's Purse, and said a guy from this building was interested and asked about it. And she gave it to him, and she told me how now she's found one more person to do this. Isn't that awesome? In her characteristic what's wrong with you fashion. Turns out she's going to get the box from that person because she can take them to church. He lives in another apartment, which is easy to remember for her because it's her phone number. She upsets me so much, I don't know if I have to put up with this. 6:14 p.m.
That's right, Dr. Dad Camp. We're not running around with Mickey Mouse type bullshit.
6:25 p.m. I am no fool. I will stop hurting her. I will give her when she is good to receive, but if she's acting in sin, I will take away, or I will not give. Simple. How much I would have liked to hug her goodbye, and be reassuring and validating. But things are weird, like she pointed out the other day herself. And furthermore, if she's going to act in sin, then there's no way I can give. Otherwise, I would give and give to all the sinful-natured people out there. I will not reward sinfulness. No way, Jose. The following I wrote in class this morning. You have great potential, she had said to me. A good thing about me. Equals great unrealistic expectations. If I let them down, she'll be very disappointed. If I am really screwed up, and I'm doing the best I can. About meeting someone at a bar. I really did not expect this. I went just to have fun. In the future, I would rather meet someone elsewhere. But we do what we can with what we have where we are. 7:40 p.m. Her class is over at 8. I felt like writing her a note to put on her car, which is in parking lot. Quote, Jen, No matter what you or I say in the heat of the moment, I am here for you and only you. I want to give you that, especially when there is no time and you abandon hope. I am here for you. Love, Mark. Planted at 7:45 p.m. onto her car. 8:15 p.m. Couldn't concentrate. Went to the lot. Hoped to be able to tell her that I didn't bring out the best in her, that I let her down. I should have brought out the best in her, but I did not. This is my renewed, fresh, good attitude. I did not bring out the best in you. It's my bad. I am sorry. Mark, bring out the best in her. You love her, so it is up to you. Monday, October 29th. Email from Joe.
Mano, I'm still not sure if we'll go. I said if college has discount for us, that would be cool, we'll see. Lou, what kind of deals do you get with your ticket package? It's jets for specific shows, right? Joe.
Planner, Tuesday, October 30th, 2001. RPD midterm. 1 p.m. appointment with blank to finish my number 12 post and core. A note to re-record my answering machine greeting. Tuesday, October 30th. Email from Rosemary. She writes, let me know too. Eric and I might be interested if the price is reasonable for Les Mis. Planner, Wednesday, October 31st, Halloween. A note to not go to any malls was crossed off. Possible threat, hoax. Practical exam. Optional to raise grade of first practical. Wednesday, October 31st. Email from Libsib.
Hola gatas y gata. We decided not to see Les Mis this weekend. We've seen it several times and have other plans/projects this weekend. Those who haven't seen it, ever, should go if interested. I'm not sure how much longer it will continue on tour. See ya. Luig.
Wednesday, October 31st. Email from Rosemary.
Subject, Peruvian dinner. Gatos, I think Bill's idea of having a Peruvian potluck dinner sounds great. However, unfortunately for all of you, a potluck involves everyone bringing a dish. So here are some ideas, listed from easiest to hardest. Papa a la Huancaina. Ocopa. Talaran verde. Locro. Causa. Seco. Aji de gallina. Escabeche de pescado. Arroz con pollo. Chup de camarones. Lomo saltado. You can find recipes online doing a search for said recipe, or for Peruvian recipes, w.prayforperu.com/recipes has good recipes for causa, talaran and huancaina. If anyone needs a recipe I can supply them. If you are not sure of presentation, I can give ideas, i.e., if you make the escabeche, I expect a platter with corn on the cob wheels, sweet potatoes, goat cheese, etc. The following groups will be responsible for a dish. 1 Eric and Rosemary. 2 Joe and Dad. 3 Lou and Joanna. 4 Mark and Jen. 5 Bill. Here's the thing, though, first in, first pick, so pick your dish and reply ASAP. I need to approve of it in advance, sorry, cancha does not qualify as a dish. Also, no cheesy substitutions, please. If it calls for something you do not have, buy it. Also, points will be awarded for taste and presentation. Sorry, guys, you just may have to buy a head of lettuce or some Greek olives, life sucks, I know. So see ya all on Saturday, we can eat around 5:30 if this suits everyone. If you need help, bring all of your ingredients here and I will help you assemble. This does not mean bring a potato and expect me to make causa. I will make 2 or 3 dishes, let me know which ones you would like me to make. Bill, if you can still buy cheap cilantro, bring a few ramos. If you can get fresh basil too, that would be great, it's like 1.80 for a very small ramo here, one would need at least 4 of them to make a decent talaran verde. Catcha. Gata.
That's about it for this one. Until you see me again. Duliness saves the universe. Be well, everyone.
Thanks, Dr. Dadcamp. This was a pleasure. Let's do it again real soon. Another great TDE episode for the ages. I'm in awe of how hard you worked to build this life for your kids. You really fought for us, didn't you? You're the real deal, Dr. Dad Camp. Your dad never gave up on the truth, and neither should you. He did all of this so you would know what integrity looks like. Ada 10-4, we're clear until you see us on the next adventure.